SDP T-shirts, their shop is now selling Liberal SDP Alliance trousers.
Iran, and there was brisk bidding at an auction in Tehran today when an almost complete box of black magic went under the hammer.
Polo now. There was uproar during a game at Windsor today when Prince Charles dismounted to change sides.
After the winning goal, why not enjoy a 7-Up?
Jeff Capes has never looked sharper in this shot event. And the knowledge that Udabaya, the Olympic champion, has thrown 21 metres 98 this last week, has spurred him on. And that's a huge throw again. That's a huge throw, and that's 21 metres surely. And that could well be a new championship record.
Could I have that cash, please?
Certainly, sir. Oh, Mr. Brent.
That's me, I'm Alan Brent, yes.
Could you hold on just a moment, sir? Yes, Mr. Brent, we're very glad you've come in. We've been trying to get hold of you all day.
Really?
I'm afraid I've got some very bad news.
Oh?
Yes, I'm afraid we had a break-in last night.
Well, that is bad news,
Yes, it's even worse news for you, I'm afraid.
Why?
Well, the thieves stole your box.
My what?
Your box. You know, the little cardboard shoebox that we keep your money in.
I'm sorry, I don't think I follow you.
Well, you know, when you make a deposit, we put it in a little box. And we write your name on it, and then we put it out the back under a big bed we have out there.
Would you have a safe?
No, we're only a small branch, you see, so we're saving up for one.
So you can't cash this cheque, then?
No, I'm sorry.
They just stole my money, then?
No, they stole Kathy's pen as well, didn't they,
Like new paper, mate.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kate. It seems a shame, really. I had £3,000 in my, box.
Yes, actually, we at the bank here do feel very sorry for you, Mr. Brent. And if it's any consolation, we had a whip round.
Oh, you shouldn't have, really.
No, well...
Very nice of you.
We would very much like you to take it, if you would.
Oh.
There we are.
There's £8.50 there.
There we are, Mr. Brent.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Of course, you could open another account with that, of course. I think I may have a little box down here somewhere that I can put it. It'll be quite safe this time, because we've had a lock put on the back door, you see, so the thieves won't be able to hit...
I'll take it with me, because I have to buy some food for my wife and children.
Yes, of course. Mr. Brent. I'm sorry, it's a joke.
Oh, no!
I'm pulling your leg! I don't know how I kept a straight face, a box with your name on it, and the thieves came and they took only your box.
I really fell for it, didn't I?
Of course they didn't steal your box. Here it is.
policy on pay is meaningless unless it's part of a much wider approach. It must be taken together with restraint on government spending, restraint on government borrowing.
I will not change just to court popularity.
The government has admitted that the new £1 coin is only worth about 60p compared to its value in 1978, but pointed out that this is still more than the first prize in the Daily Mail's casino competition.
And it's just been announced that British Rail is to close at the end of the month with a loss of 20,000 jobs and 110,000 employees.
The Middle East. And there was drama at a lunch party in Riyadh today when former Ugandan President Idi Amin's dessert tried to escape before he could eat it.
A couple of years ago, a lot of people in Australia started talking about a remarkable new food. Housewives stopped each other in the street to share the news. Within weeks, supermarket shelves had been stripped bare of it. Well, that food is now available here in Britain. Prime Australian
beef. The Serengeti Plain, home of the wildebeest. In 1940, 10,000. In 1950, 25,000. In 1960, 80,000. And now, in 1982, a total of 2.5 million wildebeest are unemployed. And the figure is still rising. Some battle on in search of jobs. Others have lost hope completely. A wildebeest will do almost any type of work. Geoffrey Stevenson is one such example. Has been unemployed for 2.5 years. His girlfriend, Mandy Fairfax, likewise, has been out of work for almost 18 months. Both will admit their prospects are low. For Mandy, secretarial work is out of the question, as she cannot type, and her shorthand is quite appalling. For Geoffrey, simple manual labour is also impossible, as he hasn't got hands, only hooves. The same applies to countless others. Next week, we take a hard look at the possibility of a wildebeest job opportunities program, and why one particular chain of supermarkets refuses to have wildebeest on its staff.
Gentlemen, will you please meet the leader of this mission? A man whose name is a byword amongst mercenary soldiers throughout the world. Gentlemen, Colonel Mad Mike Hoare. At ease, gentlemen. You may pluck fruit if you wish. Now, to business. This, gentlemen, is our target. Christmas Island in the South Pacific. Our object is threefold. To storm the island, to capture President Mossam and tie him up with his own string, and to build a yacht club as a base for the ostrich racing. Any questions? Guess what time is it? 8:15. Good question. Now, when we reach the island, the first wave will land here, under cover of the parish boundary. The second wave will create a diversion here, by the church without a tower. Next slide, please. Whilst the rest of you will come ashore using air support, having blown up the lilos here. You all, of course, know Sergeant Major Sandy Clinically Insane Macpherson, and I'm sure you remember Lieutenant Kurt out to lunch, Schlegel from the scrap in the Congo.
There is the fat old policeman. He comes from down our street. A jolly fat old red-faced man. He really is a treat.
Thank you. Thank you, Lieutenant. Now, I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. On a hazardous mission like this, body hair is both unsightly and dangerous. So let's leave our eyebrows behind this time, shall we? Oh, and remember, on this mission, we shall be armed with the very latest French-made tubular furniture and those little silver balls you find on the top of fancy cakes. In addition, I have a small supply of these, which should stand us in good stead if the enemy put up any fierce tables. Also, this is our transport. This is only a model, of course. Sergeant Major, if you could show the men the real thing. There we go.
Right, now remember, men, when we get to the presidential palace, the first man in is it. And after that, every man he touches becomes it.
Any questions?
What's the enemy like?
The enemy, soldier, are dedicated professionals, armed with 500 machine guns, dozens of tanks, flamethrowers, atomic bombs, Martian ray guns, giant spiders, and large sticks with spiky bits on the end, which they like to shove up your bottom and turn rapidly. But we have two things that they haven't got. Now, you all know what these are. These are the cheap plastic kind. All we have to do is get the enemy to wear them, and within 3 days, that gap between their big toes and the toes next door will be causing them such agony that they will then take them back to the shop here. And that's our chance. Now, ma'am, there's just one final thing I have to say, and that is, don't forget, the best way to put the wind up Johnny Woggo is to do what he least expects. So we're not going. Sergeant Major, Mr. Major.
Wait a minute.
Hey.
Michael?
David.
My God, it is. How long is it since I last saw you?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
How are you?
Fine, fine. You?
I'm fine. Oh, what are you doing here?
Well, I work just round the corner.
Amazing, I work just down there.
Oh.
Wait a moment. I remember. I remember now. I used to hate you, didn't I?
Did you?
Yes, yes, I used to absolutely loathe you.
Really?
Oh. You stole my girlfriend.
Did I? No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
My God, I did, didn't I? Yes, I remember now. I remember because I didn't like you either. That's why I did it, I think.
She was the only good thing that ever happened to me.
Me too. We're married now.
Oh. Happy? Kids?
No, we can't.
Oh. Oh, well, that's not so bad then.
Anyway, so what have you been up to?
I'm an architect.
Oh, right, of course, yes. Yes.
Right.
Good money, I suppose.
Ooh, sometimes. And yourself?
I'm a mugger.
And for the less formal garden party, a delightful blue printed frock with matching hat and accessories.
And now comes the moment we've all been waiting for. We've caught a glimpse of the dress. It's a beautiful cream colour, obviously a very long train bunched up there in front of her. But in 5 seconds, the secret will be out. And here she comes. The waiting is almost over. And there it is, there it is. My God, look at the creases.
I buy the Daily Telegraph because it doesn't try to tell me what to think. It just reports the news.
I buy the Daily Express because it informs me quickly, tells me what's going on, and lets me get on with my job.
I read the Financial Times because I've got a pink bathroom.
2 12s, please.
24.
Done.
The Bangladesh Race Relations Board are becoming increasingly concerned over a new craze that's sweeping the country. Do-it-yourself packy bashing. Liberal MP Mel Smith was rushed to hospital last night where a team of specialist surgeons performed an emergency operation on a perforated ulcer in his stomach. British Rail management had set up an immediate inquiry to try and discover who left the new high-speed train out in the rain last night.
There was trouble down on the Derby line. The hands were kicking up hell. And Big Boss Parker was losing ground as the strikers' numbers swelled. When out of a cold grey February morn, the frost was crinkling the trees, stepped an old man with a dastardly plan. His name was Roland Davies.
Roland Davies, the man who drove the Lincoln Railroad loco. Roland Davies, he drove all day and then went home for cocoa.
The buffet car was closed and dark. There was no one to unlock it. But Roland had a bounty on his head and a Mars bar in his pocket. Now all the folks in Nottingham said, we're right behind you, Ron. So Roland took that train out and two of them got on.
Roland Davies, sitting firm and steady in his cab. Roland Davies, the nation's favorite scab.
The Buckton boys rode into town like a posse out of Frisco. They rode right down that main street and they plunged into the disco and they yelled,
Roland Davies, don't you drive that doggone goddamn train. Roland Davies, he drove it off to Lincoln and back again. Soak it up, pull it out, rev it up, put it back.
Tale of the Buckton boys and hero driver Roland. Perhaps the bravest man alive if you don't count most of Poland. But take my word that Roland's stand will keep on shining through. Although the whole darn railroad closed in the year of '82. The Buckton boys are down in hell. Roland has no trouble, oh, as he drives the ghostly soul train down God's own Hornby 00.
Roland Davies, his hat is white, his halo has no breeze.
Roland Davies, he drove the emptiest engine in the year.
All together.
Roland Davies, his hat is white, his halo has no crease.
One of the worst things about a winter cold is a nose that runs like a tap. Your work suffers, your friends suffer, and your sleeves suffer. A runny nose cannot be prevented, but it can now be cured. Contact 1200. For fast.
It's best then, but...
Thanks. Oh, thanks very much.
God's sake, are you trying to embarrass me or what? There are some very influential people in here. Society people. You don't catch them trying to drink with a bloody beer mat on the end of their glass. Just try and act sophisticated, even if you're not.
A very good evening to you, and welcome to Question Time. And with me here tonight, I have a very distinguished panel. First of all, a man widely tipped by many to be a future Prime Minister of England, Lord Carrington.
Good evening.
Next to him, the Liberal MP for Land's End South, Rudolph B. And to my left, and indeed to everybody's left, the sylph-like figure of Francis Morel.
Good evening.
And lastly, a man who I'm told is very popular throughout the country, but I personally can't abide him, Clive Jenkins.
Hello.
Could we have the first question, please?
In view of the fact that the Soviet Union has just launched 50,000 megatons of nuclear warheads against Britain...
Yes, yes.
Which will be arriving in approximately 4.5 minutes. What are the panel's views on Britain's future as a world power?
Yes, well, there we have it. A very topical question from Mrs. Johnson there. 50,000 megatons are on their way, and we're all going to die very shortly. Lord Carrington.
Well, leaving the Holocaust aside for a few minutes.
I'm sorry, I'm afraid we can't do that.
No, let me finish. Now, let me finish. As I've said before, you have to view this kind of thing in global terms. It would be very easy for me to sit here and blame President for everything, and I'm sure that would give you something to talk about on your program. But you know, Great Britain is not an island.
Yes, well, I'm afraid it is, actually, Peter.
And we have to weigh up the pros and cons and get them to balance. And I would say that on balance, the world is about to be devastated by nuclear.
Holocaust?
Holocaust, as I mentioned earlier. Now, some people might think that's a bad thing. Others might quite like the idea, I don't know. Don't come to me asking for a short answer to that one.
Yes, well, I wish I never had, in fact. But we haven't got much time, and I'd like to go over to Rudolph B. Now, Rudolph.
Help! Help! We're all going to die!
Yes, well, short and to the point, as usual. Francis Morel.
Well, I'm amazed. I mean, we're sitting here talking about a nuclear holocaust, casually discussing the destruction of the entire planet, and ignoring the major issue, which is the appalling record of this Conservative government. And the real tragedy here is that 3 million people will die unemployed. And here, I would like to drone on about Tory economic policy insofar as it relates to everything else I've been saying.
Well, thank you, Francis. Relevant as ever. And now, Clive Jenkins, the Holocaust.
Robin, my member...
Yes, thank you very much, Clive.
No, I will have my say.
Yes, if you must.
At a moment like this, I wonder what Nye Bevan would have done. And I'm pretty sure he would have shat in his pants. The point is that while we are sitting here in this comfortable studio, the average trade unionist is down a coal mine.
Yes, well, I don't know about you, Clive, but that's precisely where I'd like to be right now. Well, another question. Mrs. Bentos of Cheltenham?
Yes. If the panel only had 30 seconds left to live, who would the panel most like to have sexual intercourse with?
Well, there we are, as I said. Time for a quick one, Francis.
I'm a
thought it was Barry Manilow.
London. And in a strongly worded statement from Transport House, the Labour Party's Executive Committee today condemned some German newspapers for publishing pictures of Michael Foot actually giving birth.
The Iranian government has ridiculed the idea that the Ayatollah Khomeini may be dead. They say he hasn't even been arrested.
The environment and an amazing new device designed to help keep Britain tidy went on show today. It's a dog that sweeps up its own mess.
American tycoon Mr. John DeLorean has admitted that prospective customers lost interest in his sports car when they found out what was under the stainless steel body.
Have you got the talk wrench, Bob? No, Bob. I think Bob's got it. Bob!
Yes, Bob?
Have you got Bob's talk wrench?
No, Bob, I haven't. Hasn't Bob got it?
No, Bob hasn't.
Oh, hang on. No, Bob's got it. Bob!
Yes,
Bob?
Bob says you got the talk wrench.
No, Bob!
Oh, sorry, Bob. Bob's got it.
Bob! Yes, Bob? No, not you, Bob. Bob! Bob, have you got Bob's talk wrench? No, Bob!
Bob must have it. Bob!
Oh, look,
No,
Bob,
Bob
you
says-
said you had it down here.
Bob,
had it yesterday.
I meant it to Bob.
Can you ask Bob further down?
The new BL ambassador. Hand-built by Roberts.
Excuse me, madam. I've got reason to believe you've been shoplifting.
That's a dreadful lie. How dare you?
From Michelin.
From Michelin?
Well, over there, in the corner.